Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for another episode and the latest installment of what was my greatest flip in my history of collecting. So I'm not usually a flipper, primarily a collector, but I will on occasion sell cards to finance other cards for my collection, so to speak. So this is an example of that. It's the most extreme example of that that's happened in the close to 15 years now since I've returned to collecting as an adult, and it involves this guy here, Kylian Mbappe. So I'll try to keep this brief because I do tend to talk about this at the intro of each of these installments, but had a Mbappe rookie card that I got on eBay a few years back for $5 with free shipping. It was just a base card, but it was from like a high-end type soccer release and was serial numbered as such. And to make a long story short, during the soccer hype and hysteria that was going on about a year or so ago, maybe a little bit longer now, sold that off for an amount of money that allowed me to finance 5 pretty epic cards for my collection, slabbed cards. And so I've been revealing these one at a time. In previous installments, we've seen the 68 Mantle, the 56 Willie Mays, and the 85 O-Pee-Chee Mario Lemieux rookie card that you see in the backdrop there. Those were the first 3 cards that I financed with that flip, and today we have the 4th. So this is a vintage baseball card. It's actually older than any of the cards set forth in front of you there in the background, and it is from, or the subject is a player who, if you're a Red Sox fan, and you enjoy vintage cardboard, it's almost like a rite of passage to get a playing era card of this guy into your collection. And I'm referring, of course, to the great Ted Williams. So scored this 1955 Topps of the Splendid Splinter for my Red Sox collection, and more importantly for my 55 set. I am working on, perhaps foolishly, completing a 1955 Topps baseball set. There's only a little over 200 cards on the checklist, so it seems like it would be easy, but of course you've got, heavy hitters like this Ted, the Koufax rookie, Clemente rookie is the big card. So not an easy set at all, but was very, very happy to pick up one of the big Hall of Famers from the release that I needed. And obviously anytime, like I said, as a Red Sox fan, that you can get a playing era Ted Williams in pretty good shape. This is a PSA 3. The pattern for a lot of my cards from, the 60s and older is I really don't care as much about the grade on the flip and just go for good overall, visual appeal. This card is not perfectly centered, but it is centered better than the Willie Mays from 56 that I have up in the background there. It's good enough for me centering, and the image is really, really strong. Crisp, bold color, no print lines, no creases that, go through the card at all on the surface. There's a tiny bit of facial snow, I think, just below the brim of his cap here. I'm not entirely positive on that. And then there's a couple of like printing dots or some snow just around his last name there in the green, but it's very faint. And, even holding the card at this relatively close distance, it's not all that noticeable. So really, really happy that I was able to reel this in as one of the 5 cards that I brought home with the proceeds from that soccer card. You can see the back here is very, very clean as well. I love the Grapefruit League cartoon. No paper loss, nothing really of note. Nice, bold statistics. The ink looks good. Really no issues of note other than some, slightly rounded corners and a little bit of edge wear from, a card that's well over 60 years old now. I'm certainly not going to complain about that. And yeah, so that is my latest edition and card number 4. Well, I shouldn't say my latest edition at this point. I've actually had this in hand for quite a while now. But that is card number 4 in the most epic flip in my history of collecting. And I hope you enjoyed it. It definitely feels good to slot that one in. I think I'm a little bit above 25% done on a 55 Topps set now, including that slabbed Williams there. So to be a quarter of the way there on a set that old feels pretty good. And yeah, that's a wrap. So I have one more left to show. In the future, I did pick up 5 cards with the proceeds from that one Mbappe, and I've saved my favorite for last. It is another Hall of Fame baseball card, and it's older than even the 55 Williams that we saw today. So I will get to that one in a future episode here. But for now, just wanted to dedicate today's to the 55 Teddy. I appreciate all of you stopping by and spending a few minutes of your time here on the channel. Hope your week is off to a great start, and I'll be back in the near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care.